The term hazard refers to any source of potential harm, danger, or adverse effect on people, property, the environment, or business operations. Hazards can be natural, human-made, or a combination of both. They have the potential to cause injuries, illnesses, financial losses, or environmental damage. Types of hazards. Physical hazards. Examples include fires, earthquakes, floods, extreme temperatures, and noise pollution. Chemical hazards. Harmful chemicals such as acids, gases, and toxic substances. Biological hazards. Bacteria, viruses, fungi, or other microorganisms that can cause diseases. Ergonomic hazards. Poor workplace designs, repetitive movements, and improper lifting techniques leading to strain or injuries. Psychosocial hazards. Stress, workplace harassment, or excessive workload affecting mental health. Electrical hazards. Faulty wiring, power surges, and exposed electrical parts that can cause shocks or fires. Key points about hazards. A hazard does not necessarily cause harm, but has the potential to do so. Risk assessment is necessary to identify and control hazards. Proper safety measures can minimize or eliminate hazards. Would you like a specific example or a more detailed explanation of a particular type of hazard? You said, identify and interpret warning and safety signs in science. In science laboratories and workplaces, warning and safety signs are used to communicate potential hazards and ensure safety. These signs follow international standards, often using colors and symbols for easy recognition. Below are some common categories of warning and safety signs found in science. 1. Warning signs. These indicate potential dangers that require caution. Examples: biohazard, risk of exposure to biological hazards like bacteria or viruses. Radiation, presence of radioactive materials, or ionizing radiation. Laser hazard, danger of exposure to laser beams. Corrosive, risk of chemical burns from strong acids or bases. Interpretation, these signs mean you should exercise caution and use protective gear like gloves, goggles, or face shields. 2. Prohibition signs. These indicate actions that are not allowed for safety reasons. Examples: no eating or drinking prevents contamination from hazardous substances. No open flames prevents fire hazards in areas with flammable chemicals. No entry restricted areas for authorized personnel only. Interpretation: if you see these signs, you must avoid the prohibited action to ensure safety. 3. Mandatory signs. These indicate actions that must be followed to stay safe. Examples: wear safety goggles, protects eyes from harmful substances, wear lab coat required for chemical protection, wear gloves, necessary for handling hazardous materials. Interpretation: these signs tell you what safety measures are required before proceeding. 4. Emergency signs. These indicate safe areas or emergency procedures. Examples: first aid kit, location of medical emergency supplies. Emergency exit, route to leave safely in an emergency. Eye wash station, area to rinse eyes if exposed to harmful substances. Interpretation: these signs help guide people to safety in case of an emergency. 5. Fire safety signs. These indicate fire-related equipment and emergency procedures. Examples: fire extinguisher, location of fire suppression equipment. Fire alarm, indicates where to activate the alarm in case of fire. Fire exit shows the escape route in case of a fire emergency. Interpretation: these signs help you act quickly in case of fire hazards. Conclusion: understanding these signs ensures safety in a scientific environment. Always pay attention to them, follow instructions, and use the proper protective equipment when required. Quiz: Science Safety. Signs multiple choice questions. Which color is commonly used for warning signs that indicate hazards, like radiation or bio? A. Red. B. Yellow. C. Blue. D. Green. What does this sign mean? A. Emergency exit. B. General warning. C. No smoking. D. Wear gloves. Which type of sign tells you what safety gear must be worn? A. Red prohibition signs. B. Blue mandatory signs. C. Yellow warning signs. D. Green emergency signs. If you see this sign in a lab, what should you not do? A. Use a fire extinguisher. B. Work with chemicals. C. Light a flame. D. Exit the lab. What does a green rectangular sign usually indicate? A. Fire hazard. B. Safety and emergency information. C. Chemical storage. D. Prohibited actions. True or false? A red prohibition sign means you must follow the instruction written on it. A blue circular sign with safety goggles means you must wear eye protection. A fire extinguisher sign is usually red and rectangular. Short answer: what should you do if you see a biohazard sign in a lab? Name the safety signs you would expect to see in a chemistry lab. Safety precautions to prevent hazards. Preventing hazards requires following safety measures to reduce risks in workplaces, laboratories, and daily activities. Below are some key safety precautions. 1. General safety measures. Risk assessment. Identify and evaluate potential hazards before working. Follow safety guidelines. Always follow standard operating procedure. Keep workspaces clean. Maintain a clutter-free environment to prevent accidents. Emergency preparedness. Know emergency exits, fire extinguishers, and first aid locations. 2. Personal protective equipment. Wear safety goggles. Protects eyes from chemicals and debris. Use lab coats and gloves. Prevents contact with harmful substances. Wear masks and respirators. Protects against toxic fumes, dust, or biological hazards. Proper footwear. Closed-toe shoes. Prevent injuries from spills or falling objects. 3. Chemical safety. Label and store chemicals properly. Keep hazardous substances in labeled containers. Use fume hoods. Prevent inhaling toxic fumes. Do not mix unknown chemicals. Avoid dangerous reactions. Handle with care. Always use the correct tools for handling chemicals. 4. Fire and electrical safety. No open flames near flammables. Prevents fire hazards. Check electrical equipment. Avoid using damaged wires or overloaded sockets. Know how to use a fire extinguisher. Be prepared for emergencies. Keep exits clear. Ensure emergency exits are not blocked. 5. Biological and radiation safety. Handle biological materials safely. Use proper disposal methods. Follow radiation protocols. Wear protective lead shields when working with radiation. Practice good hygiene. Wash hands and disinfect surfaces regularly. 6. Ergonomic and workplace safety use. Proper posture. Prevents back and muscle strain. Lift objects correctly. Bend your knees, not your back. Adjust workstations. Prevents eye strain and repetitive stress injuries. 7. Psychological and mental safety report. Unsafe conditions. Speak up if you notice a hazard. Take breaks. Prevents fatigue and overworking. Maintain a positive work environment. Reduces stress and accidents. Conclusion. By following these safety precautions, you can minimize risks and prevent hazards in science labs, workplaces, and daily activities. Safety is everyone's responsibility.